Hi and welcome to AFTV. I've got lead judges with me. Just lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest out of the FA Cup. It's poor performance today from the boys, Lee. What was your thoughts?
Poor performance. Don't really understand why we could play that badly after what we done last week. There was lots of changes. I don't think it helps when you have too many changes. Cohesion goes out of the team. Now, I'm not going to criticise too much because you don't know what's happened, why those players weren't out. But you know, there was some shocking performances out there, some shocking decisions from the manager, and that's the second time now we've gone out in the FA Cup by playing poor, not poor, but like not as strong a team as we should do. And like, you know what I mean. Unfortunately, we got like beat today.
Just elaborate on that for me, Lee. You said some poor decisions from the manager today. What were they?
Well, I look at the poor decisions today. Tavares wasn't playing well. Now, I'm not going to go too mad about that. He might have been injured. He might have whatever, like, you know what I mean. But after 20 minutes or 30 minutes, he's taken off.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you're going to do that as a manager, then you've got to do it for everyone. You can't just do it for one and not the other, because I'm telling you that now, you know, why has Eddie stayed on the pitch today? He was poor today, you know, missed another open goal. That's 2 open goals now, one against Everton and one today that he's missed after some fantastic work from Saka. You know, he's been giving this bloke minutes after minutes after minutes.
Yep.
He's not signing the thing, so can you tell me why you're playing him?
So would you have started Lacazette then instead of Eddie?
I would have started Lacazette today, especially when you've not got no midfield. We've lost 3 midfield players in a week.
Yep.
In Partey, El Neni, and also we've let Maitland-Niles go, like, yeah. So you're putting in Charlie Patino in there, like, you know, and Lukonga, who made a mistake for the goal, by the way. They're inexperienced players in there as a two.
Yep.
So get some experience in and around them. And if that means Lacazette, you play Lacazette, like, you know. Listen, I didn't think that today that Smith Rowe weren't going to play, and that was a big loss. But you looked on the bench today. I said, like, from the first minute, I said we're in trouble here, because if things don't go well, we couldn't change it up, and that was a problem. Like, you know, I don't know if it's arrogance and all that from the manager. Ultimately, the manager, like, listen.
He seemed like he did what he could do, though, with the players that he had on the bench. I was trying to wrap my brains about who he could have brought on and changed the game.
I'll tell you what, like, you know, we've got a minute to go before to try and win the game, and on's Kolasinac, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that tells you everything you need to know. Listen, Arsenal have got to strengthen this squad. If you look, Aubameyang's not here because of the African nations anyway, but if you're falling out with strikers, then replace them. Yeah. Get somebody in, like, and Eddie's not the one to replace Aubameyang. You've got to go and say, right, I accept the decision and go with it. But if you're going to be disciplined and let someone go, then you bring in somebody else. You know, and I'm sorry, like, with Mikel, he hasn't got a lot of credit in the bank. You know, you lose against Liverpool on Thursday and then lose to Spurs. He's right under it, Cecil, because of this game. You know, you before the game you get a home draw against Leicester. You can't ask for no more than that home draw. And the performance today, listen, it was shocking. You know, man, we've come to Nottingham Forest. Don't upset the Nottingham Forest fan, right? Like, you know, but you know, the goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper, Leno, has been our man of the match. He's made 2 or 3 good saves. And, you know, who else played well? Holding again. How slow was we in the build-up again? It was going back 2-3 weeks ago. I've been watching it over the last 3 or 4 games. We've been moving the ball quickly, and all of a sudden we're slow, dwelling on the ball from centre halves again, like, you know. Now, that's going to come down to personnel. But I think now Mikel's got to come out, because there was, like, a lot of Arsenal fans here. We deserve to know why you put out such a weakened team today. Now, if it is because of COVID and injuries, I accept that. Yeah, okay. I accept that. But ultimately, I'm going to say this now. He knew for how many months ago that El Neni and Partey were not going to be here, like, you know what I mean? So why are you letting Maitland-Niles go now? He could have played today, Maitland-Niles, and then gone to Rome, like, I don't what. So because he said he don't want to play for one game, you know, he does certain things for this team and not for others. Now, if you're dropping, he's left back Tavares today, 20 minutes. Yep. You know, you can't do that at 30 minutes. You cannot do that, because especially when you're playing bad, Cecil, you can ask, you know, he can be sitting in the bench and going, well, why didn't he come off? You know,
would you have argued if we won today that it was the right decision to bring him off?
No, I don't think, because I think in the long term that ain't good. You know, as a player, he's a young player learning his trade. You know what I mean? And I, as I say, I'm not going to go too much into it, because I think it's going to come out that maybe he was not well, or he looked like he didn't look the same, bombing on and all that. So I'm not going to go there. So, but Mikel needs to come out and say that. And if it is because he's played badly, then, you know, I'm sorry. Then, you know, Cedric should have come off after 20 minutes. So should have Eddie. So should have Lukonga, and you can go on and on and on. Yeah. It's not fair. But listen, that's a poor result today. More disappointing is the way we've gone out today. I look at it today, and I'm going to be really honest. they look like they wanted it more than us.
Yeah.
And you know, my mate turned around and said it in the stand. You've got people like Cedric, you've got people like Holding, you've got people like Lukonga are trying to get into the first team, which is difficult when everybody's playing well. There's your chance, and it just fell flat.